A clay bowl. Young people around the world have held bowls, not much different from these, for eating rice, cereal, or soups. David MacDonald is an African-American ceramist who has chosen to use the bowl or vessel as his craft form. Through clay and various glazes, David expresses his ideas and his realizations about his art and life. Let's visit David MacDonald for a look into his art.
In order for one to know how to throw on the wheel, you have to have about a ton of clay pass through your hands. We start out by centering the lump of clay by applying pressure against the sides. One technique that potters use is a process called coning the clay up. This helps to get it centered by applying pressure from opposite sides and occipital pressure against the mass of clay, squeezing it up. Can't use it in this shape in the next step, so we push it back down. The right hand on top, applying the primary pressure to push the mass down, the hand on the left having the responsibility of controlling any kind of horizontal movement. Hands are held in a stationary position. And we open the mass up. There are a number of different ways of doing it. I use my thumb. And basically what we're doing is creating an interior volume. And that's one of the things that makes wheel throwing very unique, and that is the process that allows you to form or make hollow shapes. From time to time, what you'll see potters do to keep the cylinder under control is to choke it in, process called choking. Once we get the basic cylinder shape, we've done most of the preliminary work, sort of like digging the foundation for a house. You always want to start out with a good foundation, because if you don't, it doesn't matter how good a job they do on the rest of the house, it will probably fall down. And here again, applying pressure primarily from the inside. We can shape it. The clay naturally wants to go out, and so throwing things like bowls is not very difficult to do, because centrifugal force is helping you. But throwing something with a small neck, like a bottle or a bud vase or something like that, you notice I said vase and not vase, okay, because the amount of money you want to charge for this, you aren't making vases, you're making vases, okay? So, in the beginning, it may take a little bit of fussing to get that neck in. So this is a bottle shape. We can decorate the outside of the cylinder and then shape this cylinder into a pot shape, a vase shape, by only applying pressure from the inside. First thing we do is close up the neck. We only need an opening at the top large enough to fit our hand. And we just start expanding it. As the form expands, the pattern expands as well. Okay, so that's done. A technique of body decoration that the Maasai warriors used on themselves. What they would do is take a mixture of animal fat and ochre or red clay, and they'd smear this paste on their legs. And then, while the paste was still soft and pliable, they would drag their fingers through it, creating these interesting linear patterns on the surface of their legs. As the Maasai tribesmen did, we can just drag our fingers through the on-gobe coating, and then we can shape the form. Like in life, in throwing on the potter's wheel or working in clay, you only get what you put into it. If you give yourself over to it completely, your rewards will be much greater. Regardless of how easy I make it look, it's hard. It's not impossible, but it is hard.